Hello, in this video I want to do an impromptu review of this W140 RGB LED video light. This is actually the second one I've got because I'm quite happy with it. On the end, specifications on the end, it says it has a white balance from 2500K to 9000K. It has a 3.72 volt 3100 milliamp hour battery, and it has a HSI control RGB LED. That only means anything if you're into photography, and I used to do photography before I do this, so the skills transfer over. On the back again we have the model 140 RGB with a color temperature of 2500 to 9000 Kelvin. The unit consists of 49 white LEDs, 49 yellow LEDs, and 42 RGB LEDs with a CRI of 95 plus. The output power apparently on full blast is 8 watts, and it's charged via a U sub type C connector. The light angle is 120 degrees, and as I said earlier, the voltage is apparently rated at 3.7 volts 3100 milliamp hours. To get in, we first just take the top off. We open the box like this. Inside we see a USB-C charging lead. Feels quite thin, so I wouldn't expect it too much. We have the hot shoe to 1/420 adapter. This isn't a Sony one, it's a normal one. We have the light itself, which is slightly smaller than an iPhone, and it weighs about the same as an iPhone 11 as well. We have the 1/420 screw on one end, 1/420 on the bottom, controls for turning it on, changing the settings and charging, and on the bottom we have the slot for mounting the adapter. And the cover just goes back in there. On the back here we have the colour band that you can change to, or it just escapes me, and an OLED display that tells us what settings we're using. Apart from your instructions booklet, there's nothing else in the box. On one side we have Chinese, and on the other side we have English. Service warranty, product specifications, operating instructions, specification and contents of the thing, box. Right, so to turn it on, press and hold that down. The button marked powered CT. You'll see it comes on quite bright in my case because I've been using it already, and you see I've got it set to a brightness of 100% and a colour setting of 9000 Kelvin. It's very hard to see because the camera I'm using has got rolling shutter, which is really blocking the settings out there. It's in CCT mode, which stands for color temperature control. And in this mode we have the dim button for increasing or changing the brightness, and the CT mode is for changing the white color from very warm white, the 25K, up to a nice cold white, blue white at 9000. To change the mode, press the CT button, we go into RGB mode, HSL RGB. By changing the CT, we change the colour which is specified on this strip here. Let's change it all the way back up. I'm holding it away because at this brightness it is very bright and it will swamp out the camera lens. Oh, and you can see if you keep holding the button down it will just swing back round and start back at 0 once it reaches 360. Again, you use this one to change the brightness. The camera's actually showing it as yellow, but to me that's actually red, which means I might have my colour balance set out on my camera. Next mode we got, by pressing this one, is HSI mode. For the life of me I can't remember what HSI mode means. Hue saturation. So again, by changing the CT, moving the CT button backwards and forwards, it is a scrolling button. You can change the colour there. And again, change the brightness there. Next, we go over to scene mode. This has lots of different programmed flashing modes in it. This is mode 3, which is supposed to be a fire engine. And flick ambulance. It's flashing between white, red and blue. Cop car, rapid flashing between red and blue. Must be American colours. HSI fast sweep. Again, it's going through the hue saturation colouring. Scene 19 is HSI slow. Scene 18 is a flashing blue colour. Scene 17 is a green flashing colour. 16 is a red flashing colour. 15 is HL beam. High-low beams, as in cars. 14 just flashes an amber light on and off. Unfortunately, it doesn't do it in the SOS signal for Morse code. 13 is random white flashing, known as paparazzi mode. C12 is an RGB strobe, where it just flashes random colours. Scene 11 is a white strobe, and if you've got epilepsy, I'm sorry. Scene 10 is a pulsing. Scene 9, again, if you've got epilepsy, I'm sorry, is supposed to represent a faulty bulb like you see in movies, in scary and horror movies. Scene 8 is a random colour flashing mode. 7 is a candle which has got a slow flickering with a yellowy shade. But it actually seems to just be a solid yellow. 6 is TV mode. Again, flickering of TVs like you used to see in horror films. Scene 5 is fireworks. Random firework colours, which seems to be a bit like the other two RGB strobes. Scene 4 is lightning. A random white flashing colour. back to fire engine. You can scroll up and down through the modes to select it. And then we press the CT mode again to go back to ordinary mode. This thing has got quite a good runtime when you're not running it on full brightness. But as I've been recording at night time and it's getting darker in the UK, I've been setting this to full brightness to swamp out my desk, which, if I just crank it back up to white, provides quite a bit of fill colour, but my mat is quite reflective. To turn it off, just press and hold and it turns off. I like this unit so much that I've actually got 2 of them. I probably paid about 25 quid from each of these from Amazon. And if you need a small, compact, multicolour light that's cheap, I recommend getting these, because standard studio lighting is not very cheap, and it's not very cheap for a reason. Any questions, feel free to post in the bottom. Apart from that, I'll just knock my camera off. Thank you for watching, and we shall go back to our usual recording schedule. Goodbye.